Bartesian is a sleek machine the size of a coffee maker that makes premium cocktails at the touch of a button. Choose from over 50 different cocktails, from classics to the most exotic premium cocktails served in the best bars today. You'll always get freshly mixed, perfectly balanced cocktails with the Bartesian cocktail maker. And now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever at bartesian.com/Fox News. Entertaining? The Bartesian is ideal for parties. No need to stock all kinds of individual mixers for complicated recipes. Every guest gets the cocktail of their choice in seconds. The Bartesian makes a wonderful gift for anyone who loves a fine premium cocktail. Now get Bartesian's best Black Friday deal ever. It's available right now, only at bartesian.com/Fox News. That's BARTESIAN.com/Fox News for Bartesian's best deal ever, only at bartesian.com/Fox News.
This is a special alert to all Americans who own a vehicle with less than 200,000 miles with an auto warranty about to expire or with no warranty coverage at all. Due to a decline in the economy, CarShield is announcing a low-cost month-to-month vehicle protection plan that is now available to the public to save any driver out-of-pocket expenses on future auto repairs. Call now to find out how you can pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. Yes, you heard that correctly. Pay almost nothing for covered auto repairs. An open phone line has been established for all drivers to call for a free quick quote. Call 800-482-9747 now. Drivers who are covered will not have to pay for covered repairs again. This protection plan is at an all-time low. Additionally, drivers who activate this vehicle protection today will also receive free roadside assistance, free towing, and car rental options at no additional cost. Call us for your free quick quote today. 800-482-9747. That's 800-482-9747. What do you have to lose? Call 800-482-9747. Again, 800-482-9747.
Okay, markets are open 9:30 here in New York. New inflation report out about 60 minutes ago. Wholesale prices rising 8% in October from a year ago, a bit less than expected, which might be kind of good news maybe. Still near a historic high, and of course, in the end, you pay. Right now, the markets like it. We are up at the open significantly. So, what, 300 points to the upside for the Dow 30. So, 9:31 now in New York. Ms. Farina.
Well, President Biden's plan for free college education hitting another roadblock. A federal appeals court in St. Louis putting his massive student loan handout proposal on hold 4 days after a Texas court ruled against it. Former Tennessee Democratic Congressman Harold Ford Jr. is a co-host of The Five, and former Wisconsin Republican Congressman Sean Duffy is a Fox News contributor. And it's great to have you both. Sean, I just want to read to you from Karine Jean-Pierre, the White House press secretary. She said, the administration will continue to fight these baseless lawsuits by Republican officials and special interests and will never stop fighting to support working and middle-class Americans. But is it baseless?
Well, no, it's not baseless because we all know watching this program that the way that money is spent is through the Congress. The Constitution gives the authority, the power of the purse to members of Congress. This is a $500 billion spending spree by by Biden that was pulled out of thin air. So listen, I don't think this is going to stand up in the court. And I think that as you look at the pause that's now taking place, I look at, students who have taken out debt, they should pay it back. But also we talk about, working class Americans. These are rich Americans. These are doctors and lawyers who can make up to $125,000 as an individual and $250,000 as a couple. So this is really wealthy Americans who are going to do really well in their lives. That now taxpayers are going to be responsible for funding their education.
Elizabeth Warren, the senator from Massachusetts, said this. Harold, on Twitter, she said, let's be clear, President Biden has a legal authority to cancel student debt. Republican officials need to get out of the way so Americans can get this much needed relief. And it's a little bit galling because they always say there's a legal authority, but they never cite any cases. And if they try to hang it on the HEROES Act, that was supposed to be for veterans who fought after 9/11. This is not the same thing, Harold, and yet they're basically getting some pushback even from Bernie Sanders, former press secretary. I'll just mention this and let you respond. She said that it was basically the Democrats bribing young voters to vote for them in the election, knowing that it wasn't constitutional and was going to get rejected anyway. And then they could blame the Republicans for not letting them have their money. Over to you.
Well, first, good morning. Thanks for having me on. I think I was never for this from the outset. We've talked about it on your show and on The Five. Two, look, the courts will decide this. I think there's a lot of passion on both sides, those who are for and against. and I get that. When I say I was not for it, I thought we should have conditioned this on those occupations and professions where America needs work, and even perhaps narrowing it down. And as we've talked before, we should have a conversation about the rising cost of college education in this country, which I think is rising too fast. So I think where Senator Warren is, where I would disagree with her, this is not Republicans standing in the way, or the president did what he did. This is whether or not it's constitutional and legal, which is what I think Congressman Duffy's talking about. And we'll have to wait and see what the courts say. And if the courts say it's legal, I'm willing to accept that. If the courts say it's not legal, I will accept that as well.
All right, let me also ask you about leadership votes. You've both taken them on Republican and Democratic sides. This is a headline in the Wall Street Journal about this happening today in the Republican side. A narrow Republican House majority will require Pelosi-like unity, saying if Republicans don't want Mr. McCarthy, then find another candidate who will run against him, articulate a vision and process, and hold a vote, and then get behind whoever wins. Backroom plots to undermine the leadership or factional hostage-taking on this bill or that will play into the hands of the opposition. Sean, what do you think is going to happen today? Will McCarthy be able to hold on?
Well, so first off, last night they had a candidate forum where all the candidates make a presentation at the conference. The only person that was running for speaker last night was Kevin McCarthy. The vote comes today, Dana. And so I don't think Kevin McCarthy will have 218 today in the conference. But Paul Ryan, when he ran for speaker, didn't have 218 in the conference. Nancy Pelosi didn't have 218 in 2018 for the conference. She was 30 votes short. So I think what's going to happen is Kevin McCarthy will come out of the conference and he'll move in the next month and a half and get the rest of the votes. Marjorie Taylor Greene, Jim Jordan, Donald Trump have all endorsed Kevin McCarthy. He's a conservative. He's done the work. He deserves the job.
Okay, so there's a lot of people on the Republican side, Harold, will look at those races and be really interested in it. However, on the Democrat side, the leadership on the Democrat side have a lot to think about. Are they going to continue? Will Pelosi continue? Or will they try to look to a new generation? Those fights are actually a little bit more interesting this time around, Harold.
They are. I think Speaker Pelosi, whatever happens, whatever she decides to do, I think Democrats in the Congress, and for those of us who are not in Congress but are Democrats, will respect that and honor that. I hope that whatever happens, Dana, on both sides, that there's a seriousness in how they think about not only this Congress but the future. I hope the Republicans, as they think about their future, understand that the Democratic Party needs the Republican Party to be strong. We'd like to be stronger, but we need them to be strong because the only way we can get things done is if both parties are serious and credible. So I'm hopeful that whether it's Kevin McCarthy, whomever it might be, that Republicans rally behind him or her, and that whatever Democrats decide to do, that they rally behind him or her, whomever that leader might be.
We'll see, but there's so much agreement this morning. I love that. Harold.
Common sense from Harold Ford Jr.
Yeah, I know. Well, we got a theory on the 5 about Harold Ford Jr. and his future, and we're looking forward to keep stirring that pot, if you will. Yeah, we got to watch the 5 on that one. Harold and Sean, thank you.
I like it.
Pot's getting deep by the day. Now to a growing debate surrounding the safety of gender-affirming care for young people. The New York Times raising concerns over puberty blockers, writing, "They pause puberty, but is there a cost?" End quote. Well, Dr. Mark Siegel has a closer look at the surgical side of this issue. Doctor, good morning.
Morning, Bill. Bill, as a physician, rather than as a reporter, I can tell you that each patient must be treated differently. The right answer for one is not the same for another patient.
I was only a kid. I didn't really understand what I was doing to myself.
18-year-old Chloe Cole of Central Valley, California, was born biologically female, but at the age of 12, she began socially transitioning to male after experiencing gender dysphoria.
On social media, I was seeing a lot of young adult women posting pictures of themselves, very provocative. Seeing this image that didn't match my own, my thoughts started to sort of drift towards maybe I'm not a girl.
At age 13, she started taking puberty blockers and testosterone. And in 2020, at 15, Chloe had an elective double mastectomy, often referred to as top surgery. Chloe says she regretted her decision less than a year later, and today identifies once again as a woman.
The loss of my breasts and potentially my ability to mother children naturally might be the most painful part of it.
Chloe's experience with transition is a stark difference from the findings of a recently released Northwestern medicine study in the Journal of the American Medical Association. The study compared two groups of patients, ages 13 to 24. 3 months after surgery, the group that had the procedure experienced less chest dysphoria than the group that did not.
I don't think it should